So, greetings, whenever y'all get in here. Greetings. Um, yeah, I hope everyone is feeling blessed, feeling good, feeling alright. We are going to jump into this. But before we do, um, I've been talking with Anubis a lot recently, and there have been a few people that have been wondering if I still do readings about the karmics, and though I don't do them publicly, if you need my assistance with that, you can book a personal for those, and I don't mind doing those. I do our readings, but the main focus on this channel now is furthering the healing. But if you're needing any type of reading for those tough situations, you can always book a personal or email me, and we can talk about it. But I needed to get that out because the news was putting that on me to talk about. Regardless, um, we're gonna be talking about this shift, um, and, and how it's going to not only help um, those who are further on their journey, but also those who are newer. It's gonna really show how not far apart both sides really are. Um, but there is a great need to step into your power. Um, for those who are both on been doing this for a while and still coming up, because there's a shift that's happening. Of course, we have this the portal um, that's opening up as well here soon. Well, there I think like tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not wrong. The 9-9 portal that's opening up, as well as just Friday coming around. Always mystical stuff always happens on Friday the 13th, and that coming up as well. But there's a lot of shifts going on. There's a lot of connections. There's a lot of deconnections. There's a lot of self-evaluation things. There's a lot of like retrograde feedback in a sense. You can think of it like that. And there's a need to use this as an opportunity to learn, not really to heal or to grow, but just to learn, to observe them, to allow you to see where your power is, to show you who you are, and to show you how other people feel about you in this energy. Less about the emotion they try to project, and more of the energy that they're in, that they see. There's a heavy need to focus less on what you need to do next, and a more focus on how to do what's in front of you, because you're almost avoiding a certain part of a mission, and it might be letting go of an old cycle because you think you can multitask. It might just be still doing certain mindset things, or feeling that you don't need to move on, but these cycles that are urging you to break through, these things that repetitively are knocking at your door, need to be replied to. The divine's doing all they can at this time to really push you forward, to show you the path, the way. They're pushing heavily forward to show you your own power, but it's like you have to realize it. Because the divine can always tell you these things, but you yourself have to put that power on you. It's not that the divine is this outside figure from you, this materialistic figure that you keep trying to chase. It's within. So there's a need to dig within and realize that the spirit is within. These entities, these beings, these gods, goddesses that you call from, they come in. They don't remain out. They come into the vessel to be heard. We are vessels. We're ships, you know? We are carriers. And there's a need to understand that. Um, for some of you, you may need to be studying the 9 parts of the soul and understanding the 9 parts of the soul and how they cooperate with each other and how they relate to, the phases of consciousness, the phases of life, the 9 cycles, and just how life is. There's a need to dig deeper. Others, there's a need to delve deeper into numbers. I'm seeing numbers and also alchemy. um, Instead of doing like mental alchemy, there's something about actually wanting to do alchemy, physical alchemy, like, you know, and there's a need to get to that and study. There's these thoughts that are coming up, and I'm seeing the 7 of Cups in my mind's eye. There's a 7 of Cups situation. There's a lot of issue. There's a lot of options to choose, but you're trying to choose which one's for you. But the divine's not trying to show you what to pick. The divine's trying to show you all that you're about to become. So you need to pick one now and stick with it, and the rest will come on as they do. You know, and this is a branch off from what you're doing. So let's say that I'm going to use this example because it's a classic, and the guides, the ancestors love it. Let's say you're a bakery, right? And you don't just want to be like a bakery. So then you go like being from like a bakery, you become a bakery and like also like a dairy place as well. You branch off like that. There's an expansion to what you're doing, to your gifts. For those who have all the clairs and are very fluid with the clairs, if you don't have remote viewing, expect remote viewing. If you have remote viewing, there's something about the restrictions being let loose on there where you're able to go further and see more and retain more information. There's these gifts that are getting essentially addendums added to the contract for the necessary purge, to allow this new age to come apart, because this new age comes apart not by uh you know a mysterious ticker in the sky that then says, I mean, a meter, I should say as well, or better yet, a meter in this, oh, we can go, switch. The switch is a personal thing. It's a collective issue, but it's a personal situation. You must shift. When you shift, others will shift as well. It is a known fact. You will eventually catch up. It doesn't matter. We're all fluctuating all frequencies at all times. You're always going to resonate with one frequency, whether it be a a high vibration or a low vibration. That's how it is. But there's energy where you're needing to understand that in the higher realms, of things, are, this energy of acceptance, of being authentic, and not of just being love and light, not just experiencing the joy of existence, not just feeling the positive vibration, but being authentic, expressing the whole thing, is going to allow you to align better. Authenticity is the highest vibration. It is not love and light. Authenticity is stronger than love. It is the one force that people need to learn. But to do that, to be authentic with yourself, you must first learn how to love yourself, which is why the message of love yourself is pushed so hard. But we are trying to become authentic and come back to our roots, because to love ourselves is to heal and to remove these boundaries so that we can be fully authentic once again. And there's this need for you to step further into your authenticity, despite it being scary. Even if this means switching up how you talk and act and are around people that's known this old avatar, this old character of who you used to be, there's a need to really step into it and be who you are. Whether people like it or not, it's not, who cares? If they don't like what you're doing, cool. No one said that they had to like it. Don't pay attention to it. Do what you need to do. These lower energies, these lower entities that want to grab your attention by making you feel like you're missing out on something, or by feeling like you don't deserve this, or tricking you into thinking that you're satisfied, whenever the satisfaction is just comfortability from past cycles that are still shedding. There's a need to understand these things, and it's not like these are bad things as well. These are just attachments that this realm has. When you're here on this realm, like, it's very easy to get them, and being aware of them and seeing them and acknowledging them is one thing, but actually seeing the key and using the key is another. So there's a need to take what you're observing and then put it into work. Do the work now from the observation. A lot of us get stuck in this cycle of observation where we just observe and observe and observe, and we're not really seeing a change, but we're seeing the cycles that we're doing. We're playing this weird thing where we detach ourselves from our body and we watch our avatar essentially run autopilot and do these things that we've told it to do. Um, and there's a need to realize that if you feel stuck in this energy, it's because you have been on this autopilot energy where you've been observing yourself. And not that that's a bad thing, but there's a need to know when you observe yourself too much. There's a need to know when you've become almost postponed, or completely postponed, I should say, by um procrastination, or by this pause or stall. Understand that, um you know, the addictions that you have, um things that keep you from doing what you truly love to do, whether it's a thought process or like an actual activity that you're doing that's preventing you. There's a need to realize where your addictions are, and what addictions kind of keep you from being authentic. um are you wanting to expand on what you're doing but you're not feeling like it's going to be a good move, or are you needing to learn something new but you're not, you know, putting in the effort to attract and or, find and or, study about it? But there's something that's lacking. There's a lacking energy. And even for those gods and goddesses out there, they've been doing this for a while. Y'all, sometimes y'all gotta get slacking too. It's just how it is. And thank you so much for the donation. It means the world. I just snapped out of the channel real quick. Let me get back in. But there's a heavy need to really focus on the the internals at this time. Focus on your actions. There's no need to be an observer anymore. You've observed enough. At this point, you could really just describe and tell what you've slacked on. And again, going back to the ones that's been doing this for a while, it's this energy of getting used to it. It's this sneaking up of the ego where it's okay, we can do this. Oh, we can take a day off. We can take a day off. We need to rest, remember? But you've been resting. So on your resting break, ignore it. Take it if it resonates. We're on different cycles on different things, okay? It's not going to be for everyone. But there's a need to almost put your money where your mouth is, you know? This we're stepping further and further away from this mindset of I don't know how to do this, or I can't do this, or these deflective thoughts that prevent you from moving forward. And now we're in this energy, since we know he's deflective the answer. Now it's time to get the answer. Now it's time to do the thing, and it's going to be hard. And the reason it's going to be hard is because Saturn is testing you. Saturn is looming over us at this moment, especially collective who are supposed to be on this next challenge, because the divine, the galactics, the gods and goddesses need to fucking make sure these next people coming up um are gonna be it, because we need solid leaders who aren't going to be false prophets, who talk from anger, who spread lies, who slander, who there's the cut down of these things. And Saturn's going to be very hard on you being who you are. And that's the reason why, because we don't need, especially in the age of Aquarius, the 2025 is almost here. And for those um that um I don't know how many people actually are aware of this, but I don't, is it the asteroid or the meteor? I don't remember what they call it when it's in space, but the floating rock Anubis is going to be passing by Earth. So there's this all of these rebirths happening, and next year is going to be a very significant time. Whenever Anubis passes Earth, there's a very important um there's a very important vibration vibrational upgrade that's going to be happening around that time. So there's a need to really clear out anything remaining with this harvest. There's a need to really, with preparing for the winter. That includes removing people from your house that would eat your food or that would take up room in your house so that you wouldn't feel comfortable. These energies, these cords that are attached to people, places, things, events, even results of situations need to be cut. The ones that are not for you are going to be stalled and stopped by the divine. And if you continue to push for a relationship, there will be divine intervention, which will make it end in a rotten way. So it's best to advise this warning before any further pressure is added, because the divine needs those who are serious about this journey to really step up and really believe who they are. And this doesn't even mean starting your platform, but really just going and doing what you need to do. If you've been wanting to garden, now is the time to go buy flowers and go garden, go learn about these things. Put action to this energy, because this energy is growing stagnant and stale and you cannot have it. This energy has been given to you and it's been purged, especially for these up and coming new ones. This energy's been purged a lot, and we can't keep supplying you this energy if you're not going to use it. There needs to be an understanding that even though we willingly give you this energy and your free will is there, you aren't going to benefit the way that you're wanting to by the way of your actions. There's a need to really put this force behind this energy, because these gifts, these vibrations, this energy that you're feeling, that you're wanting to connect to, is unattainable. You are too heavy to reach it, because you are held back by these boundaries. You're held back by these ideas, by the energy that we've given you for these other ideas that are still very potent and very bountiful for those activities. But yet there is this fear around it, and this fear, it comes from a lack of faith, a lack of trust in self and us in general. And there needs to be a fix. There cannot be this worry anymore. There must be a transmutation of it. The worry must end. For those who worry can't be at the front line at this time. The fear must be held back. Those that are on the front lines have been feeling these energetic shifts and knowing of how serious this is, and how it's becoming in the realm of spirit, and how the heart chakra has been attacked more and more since our awakening has been happening, because you can't stop knowledge from flowing, but you can stop the heart from beating. There's this energy of knowing the importance of the heart, just away from the chakra, but just understanding the importance of the heart, knowing that the heart is a vortex, understanding why we we preserved the heart. We never removed it for a reason. We kept things intact for reasons. There are vibrations, there are energies, there are substances, there are physical things on this realm that represent things with so much power in that we see day by day, but we don't correlate to. And there's a need to really understand and see these things for what they are, rather than what people would define them as. When you live this life spiritually, when you become involved in this spiritual lifestyle, there needs to be a rewriting completely of self. You cannot see physically anymore if you are spiritual. That is the in-between energy that a lot of people are struggling with at this time, is not being able to see spiritually. It is okay to understand both sides, but you must see things spiritually. You must see things spiritually, for all things happen in spirit before they happen on the physical. You have to be in this energy of being one step ahead, or you will feel behind. And it's not because you're behind, it's because you're lacking. And what you lack is the guidance, is the true guidance, is the understanding, is the true power, the pure, higher energetic force of the divine, of the cosmos, of the ancestors that are trying to push you towards the destiny point, towards what you're supposed to do. This might be a fear of multitasking as well, because you understand that your ancestors had a lot that they had on their plate, but you need to understand that these are things that you're tapping into. These are lifetime activities that we're going to be doing, and there's just a need to plant these solid seeds. And if you're younger, there's a need to really jump on and see where this takes you. But if you're older, there's a need to just plant these seeds and start on a smaller scale. So if you're, again, just getting at least a green thumb, or getting used to planting or understanding things, just researching fun things, an upgrade of the knowledge just to help for the next resurrection, just to help the consciousness in general, um, because there's this lacking of knowledge, and all it takes is one to know something for the rest of the consciousness to start getting this download and to start evolving. And there's a need to keep an eye out for those who are becoming aware and are on this higher wavelength that's coming up, because this shift is going to show you where you're going to be leading to, where your power is going to be leading to. You're going to be seeing yourself as more as peers, I should say, for some of you, and for some of you see them as peers rather than teachers or those above. You're going to start seeing those who you deemed were more powerful than you, maybe even less or just as, because of the blinding that you've had over this life, this curtain that you've had of holding your own power back. The power of others is going to awaken the power in you, and that's your job, is to awaken the power in others. It's this domino effect that's trickling. um it's this weight that's being lifted up, and it's happening slowly. um but there's a need to be aware of it, and the ones that are going through this shift, there's a need to focus energy towards them, towards this new awakening. The divine's trying to plant these seeds. Even people that, just even more, I mean, more and more people are just becoming spiritually aware every day. There's more curiosity about it. There's less judgment about it. There's more of an understanding, even if people don't care about spirituality, just understanding that, love is a force that is lacking, and that there is this creator. There is this higher intelligent force, these energies that might not resonate or vibrate at your same frequency. They understand what you say. There's not a need to change how you say it or what you do. There's a need to just simply do it and allow it to be. Um, Especially if you're new to channeling, or allowing the divine to work through you, allow that to happen. Don't be scared. It's these false takes, these false pretenses that have been beaten and bruised into us over the years, that make us feel like what we're doing is bad. Um, it's the same things that they say we do is bad, they do as well. The only difference is they want to point the finger for first. So don't pay attention to those projections. You know, allow yourself to be fluid. The fight isn't one of a physical, it's a spiritual. So there's no need for violence, and so don't worry about the flesh for this time. Worry about the spirit. Where does your spirit want you to grow? Where is your spirit leading you? What are you looking up? What's your interest? What is your subconscious making you do, that you're almost unaware of? These things need a deeper look, a deeper glance, a deeper understanding, because there is this energy of almost divine ignorance, like you're ignoring something in the divine, and it's almost to keep you comfortable, keep you quote unquote safe, or keep you from really seeing the truth. And there's some sort of, and it's not necessarily a fear energy. It's like this aggravation. It's this energy that's being ripped off because I'm seeing it. It's like a black blob, but with like tentacles, and it's grabbed on and just like being ripped from the chest. It's something. This could even be like sleep paralysis as well. Some of you could be having a lot of sleep paralysis issues, especially if you've been trying to lucid dream and you haven't been able to do so properly. You've just been stuck in the sleep paralysis stage. There's something that's attached to you, and it's not that it's a negative entity from the external. It's something that you need to dive in on the internal, because you're not. There we go. There's a need to really like turn your actions into, like, instead of like having them be means into intentful purpose, like have everything that you do, everything you do is a ritual. And if you're just throwing your energy out there and it's not doing anything, it's not going to be able to come back to you with much else. You need to start treating this energy as it is, as it's sacred, as it's given to you to use, to be spent. It is the true currency. That this whatever we have here, this money, whatever the fuck we call it, is not real. It's not the real currency. So make sure that whatever you do, you're doing it with this force from the divine. You're not doing it because, oh, I have to. You need to start living more passionately with your gifts, with your divine being. There's this knowing of the divine has you. Don't let that passion die out. Don't let the true you just die out because that's who you are. There needs to be this evolution because you're always changing. You're always finding new. Allow yourself to grow. Don't stay stagnant. Whenever things go awry, detach and then come back. Don't deflect. If you can't handle it, detach from it and then come back at a different day. But there's this growth that's been happening, and it's time to start moving forward. And it might seem hard or tiresome to, but the reason it feels tiresome for is because the divine knows not to give you this energy until you start doing those actions, because you are at this point where you can't be using this energy willy-nilly. They will not give you the energy if you're not going to spend it the right way. They need you to start doing that action first so they can fill you in with that energy, so that you're currently doing what you currently are being given to you to do. The instructions that need to be followed, and the divine will make it work one way or another. And you'll either get so tired that you start working because you don't want to give up, or you'll give up and the divine will put that energy towards something else. Because the ones that need to move forward need to move forward. There can't be this waiting energy. There needs to be more speakers up front, more bold voices. Even and again, removing the fear of, oh, I can't speak about these things. You can. There are ways to continue to speak about them. Don't allow the fear of being removed stop you. That's an old cycle that we're breaking. That's part of these ancestral traumas, these ancestral cycles that we're breaking. Is that fear to stand up and speak due to being exiled or being removed or a loss of something. But these things need to be heavily focused on at this time. As well as focusing on your chakras. If you have an altar, you definitely need to start cleaning your altar or your space. There's something about old stagnant energy that's been around, and it's less about picking up the trash and more about just cleaning up the whole room, vacuuming, dusting, disinfecting, however. But there's a need to really get a reset in. Change the energy of your environment to change yourself. Place certain frequencies out in your environment while you're cleaning, so that when you clean up that space, that new frequency's there. That when you pick these items up, that you're not picking up the item with this low vibrational energy, or this, oh, I hate cleaning, or oh, ugh, this, because that's going to leave that same energy there. There needs to be that understanding. These careless actions that we make is just spending energy on actions that we're not really wanting, or situations that aren't pleasant or beneficial to us. And again, if you there needs to be a deeper understanding. You're not what you think you are. There's a reason behind the thing, and the reason comes from the divine, not the man. So you need to look deeper. You need to dive deeper than the first 5 thoughts that you have. You need to dive deep and feel. Which is why there's a need to start working, because you're focusing too much on the feeling now. Your thoughts are starting to tip the scales again. So put work. Remove the focus on them from the feelings, and start putting the focus on things that you need to do, so that you're doing the feeling work in the background and you're able to multitask in this stage again. The realization of your twin individual self, your feminine self, your literal other head that you've been discovering and learning about and getting to know, is the first step. And now that you are acknowledging it, there needs to be ways to move forward. The learning how to use that tool was to heal. Now that you know how to heal with it and transmute with it, now it's time to get to action and move, so that when these things happen, you're able to heal with them in real time. These tools are being tested, and you're not quite seeing them when they're being tested. You're just seeing, oh, I'm drained, oh, this and that, but you're not seeing the test that's being put. You're not seeing the tools that you've been learning and using being put to the test. So understand that and see these things. This dragging, draining energy only comes from words that you are speaking over your life at this point. You have there, in these cord cuttings, these ties, the retrogrades that have been removing these energies from you. Your power alone, these energies no longer are messing with you. It is you. It is you going to the past and reliving these by free will of the mental mind of teleporting. For if your mind is in the past, your body is in the past. Because you are a mind. There is no separation between you and your mind. If you go in the past, you are in the past. If you go in the future, you are in the future. You are planting seeds in those areas. You are tending to the pains of the past, and you are gardening the fears of the future. And you need to stop doing that. You need to start tending to the pains of the past and start cultivating for the success, and start planting the seeds for the benefit of the future and this energy of the now, by being in this conscious state of being focused on what to do next rather than how to do it or why you need to do it or do I really want to do it. Just start getting in the mood of doing it. If it happens naturally, allow it to happen naturally. Don't stop, don't think, don't do these stutter ups. Allow yourself to operate in this fluidic state where things are going to be ever changing. And if things change quickly, allow them to change quickly. Don't think much about it. The divine works in ways that we can't see. And for those, that have been on this for a while, there's a need to experiment with your trust in the divine. There's some sort of test that you're needing to put the divine to at this point. For those who have been on these things and understand what I'm saying on a deeper level, there's a test that the divine needs you to put them through, in the sense of being like, in a sense of yourself. Because those who I'm talking to now, you understand when I say divine, I speak of you. You need to put yourself to the test, in the sense of, if you know you can, then now do it. There is no need for these trial error, small things. Now do the big thing. Now is time. And that might bring up this big surge of energy. Do not label that surge of energy as fear. Label it as a surge of mutable, changeable, interchangeable energy. And allow that to awaken this sense of power in you. That is the engine in you getting started up. Do not turn it off. Okay? These surges of energy, and that goes for everyone. These surges of energy that you feel when something big is about to happen and you get that rush in, that's not fear. That is your engine starting up. That is your soul enlightening. That is the lights on your chakras lighting up, getting ready for liftoff. When that happens, focus. That is your energy getting in. That is your kundalini saying, yo, what the fuck's up? Let's start rolling on something. It's not fear. It's an impulse of energy coming to you because you asked for it, because you know you deserve it, because you know you can handle it. So don't push it away. It's a lot of energy, but that's all you. That's you. And you don't need to push yourself away. For the new ones, don't push yourself away, For the ones that have been on it, this bigger surge of energy, it might make things unstable for a while due to just acclamations. But again, there's this higher understanding for those who are on this, on the path of putting yourself to the fullest test and manifesting the destiny point, I should say, But for those who are on there, there's a need to really believe in yourself. And it's, it's time for a change, and you know what that change is. So really allow yourself to surprise yourself. allow yourself to take control in situations where you would usually sit back. Do the vice versa. Try to like experiment, see what you can do. But again, understand the laws of energy, and how the time works with the divine law and all these things, and how, you know, how it is. But this future that you're wanting is closer than you think. In fact, you're actually living it. But there's a need to really raise this vibration, and you know how to. You know how to subconsciously, but there's this, oh, I can't energy, or oh, I don't want to, or you push it back down. You need to do that. For some of you, this is meditating for 3 days, or fasting for 3 days, or just having a spiritual getaway, going off and diving into nothing but spiritual practices, learning about nothing but spiritual things, not even taking time to look at anything at all, not listening to any sort of frequencies, just on you by yourself, tuning yourself in, grounding yourself. Some of you might need to do that as a detox, as a complete detox, And if you got to go to work, you got to go to work, you got to do these things, you got to do these things, but it's no excuse to stay in this energy of detoxing. It's all a test, because life is always going to happen around you. You can't control that. But are you able to still do the things that you are required to do, the things that you request of yourself to do in those environments? That's the test. Because a lot of us in the positions that we are supposed to be in, or know that we're destined to be in, are going to require that type of balance, that type of understanding, that type of love and understanding, and sincerity and gentleness, to really be in the position that we're supposed to be in. Because you can't allow the past hurt to project out on the people who are coming towards you for help, because that's only going to hurt them. And you're not, and that, it's this energy of really testing to see if you are ready. Those that have healed to the point of some form of higher enlightenment, of mysticism, of however you wish to say, of truly deeply understanding things, there's this understanding that not everyone's going to understand things at your level, and you need to use the energies of love to then relay the way to speak to them. As you being the healer, it is not up to the one that needs healed to come to you. If someone breaks their left arm, the doctor's not going to send them home because they only operate on right arms. You must be ready to determine what needs to be done. How are you going to communicate with this person? What does this person need? This person might not even know that they have unbalanced chakras or blocked chakras, and they're trying to talk to you about some shit. And then and you can tell from the way that they're talking that their chakras are blocked, or something's not going through right. You need to be the one to go, okay, I understand what you're saying. I see all this stuff. And if they ask for advice, if they ask for that help, if they ask for, do you have any advice for me, like what I could do, then mention that. There's a need to really step into this role of who you are. If you are a healer, you are in it. If you are someone who is into divination, you are not. Don't just worry about tarot cards, because tarot has less to do with divination than a lot of people think. It's the cards that have took this reputation on. You can do divination with multiple other things. Cards are just this main thing, because the cards hold the secret, and it's trying to put it in our face so we can see that for once, So if you're into divination, learn other types of divination. I welcome you to do that. I've been learning different types of divination, and I'm still like looking at certain types of different divination kits and stuff to get for this channel, because I'm gonna, I don't want to just use cards. I want to get the full spectrum, because there's more, there's better ways to divine than with tarot cards. Those that know. Tarot cards are fine though, but there's just better ways. There's more accurate ways. It's like using the Western horoscopes. It works, but there's the authentic. I forgot what it is, but it's the Indian horoscope. The most accurate one, at least, you know. But it's along those lines. But test yourself, allow yourself to branch out and learn, and don't, detach yourself from the, oh, this is good and bad for those that are new, and the ones that have been on this journey. Have fun, allow yourself to delve into things that you once thought were bad, not in the sense of going into the practice of them, but just understanding them and seeing what it really is. Basically, just giving yourself arsenal, because especially for being a healer, there needs to be an understanding of the dark arts to a degree, so if someone's under the influences of those things, how to help them, how it's affecting them. It's less about, oh, all these things, and more about being able to help the individual. It's an act of stepping in this power of who you are, of being able to attract this knowledge. Don't be uncomfortable with who you are. Don't allow these labels that people want to apply to you. Those that apply labels on you are still attached to this 3D realm, that still want to confine to being on sides and believing that something out there makes them in a sense more powerful than the rest, you know. But that's what I'm getting. The energy over here is kind of dying down, so I feel like I got the divine messages out that I need to get. But thank you all so much for being here for this. I just want to do a channel reading. But we're gonna, as if you didn't see the post on the community tab, we're gonna be expanding more. I've never really wanted this channel to be like a tarot channel. It very much is a place where you just kind of stop in for whatever's. But regardless, thank you all so much for being here. If you're wanting a bracelet, you can use the link in the description for Otter Spirit, and use the code in the description for a discount off. If you're wanting a reading or any other service I offer, email as well as in the description, as well as a link to the order form that you can use. If you're wanting any other service, hit my email up. Regardless, thank you for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, energetic or financial. I appreciate all of them to the world, to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. But I love you all so much. Blessings to all of you, gods, goddesses, divine, earthlings, people, humans, however you wish to be. I love you all so much. Please continue to heal, to move forward, to prove not only yourself wrong, but proving yourself right as well. Proving to yourself that you knew that you could. Because it's not about proving it to someone else. It's all about proving it to you. But I love you all so much, to the moon and back, tenfold.